All right, we're just a little bit over 5:30 and I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So we're going to go ahead and begin. So I just want to welcome everyone and thank you so much for your attendance this afternoon. I do want to let you know that we are recording this so that we can share it out with our partner districts and with others that may want to view this after the fact. So thank you very much for allowing yourself to be recorded here. I want to begin by some introductions. And what I'd like to do is have everybody who is on this call to kind of introduce themselves and just tell us who you are, what your title is, and your district affiliation. And I'll begin. I'm Barbara Remendini, and I am the very proud superintendent of Wickenburg Unified School District, and so wish that we were in person for this event. I'm going to let my governing board go first, the Wickenburg Governing Board go first. So I'll just call you by first name. If you could just unmute and introduce yourself, I would appreciate it. Joe?
Good evening. I'm Joe Malio, and I'm the Governing Board President for Wickenburg Unified School District. And I want to welcome everybody here tonight.
Thank you. Randy?
Yes, I'm Randy Hodges, and I am a school board member of the Wickenburg Unified School District, and glad to be part of it.
Thank you, Randy. Ron?
Hi, I'm Ron Alexander. I'm proud to be a member of the Wickenburg Unified School District, or School Board, excuse me.
Thank you, Ron. Aspasia, can you unmute?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I'm Aspasia Angelo, and I am the dual superintendent for Natterburg and Morristown.
Great, thank you. And is it Mari Alvarez?
Yes. So good evening, everyone. I'm Marisela Alvarez Fontes, and I'm a school board member for the Aguila Elementary School District, and it's an honor to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Marisela. That is my favorite niece's name, so maybe I said it right. All right, Andy?
Hi, Andy Wanamaker. I'm the superintendent principal at the Aguila Elementary School District, right west of Wickenburg.
Thank you, Andy. Stephanie?
Good evening, everybody. Stephanie Miller, superintendent principal also for Congress Elementary School District.
Great. Thank you so much. All right, our wonderful high school team here. Mark?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mark Orman, principal at Wickenburg High School, and I want to take just a minute to say thank you for joining us this evening.
Great. And Clint?
Hello, my name is Clint Bushbaum. I'm the assistant principal at Wickenburg High School.
Great. Matt?
Hi, I'm Matt Johnson, Wickenburg High School athletic director.
And Rose?
Hi, I'm Rose Garcia, and I'm the CTE director for Wickenburg High School.
And principal of Wickenburg Virtual Academy.
Yeah, that too, but we were focused on the other, so that's all.
Thank you, Rose. And Jeremy, tell us who you are so people know why your face is on the screen. Thank you, Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Corliss. I am the IT director here at Wickenburg School District. I'm here just for tech support for the call.
Thank you, and Jeremy is recording. He's the one in charge of recording this, so that way it will come out right. If I were in charge, it probably wouldn't be readable. All right, and then Lynn, are you going to unmute and tell us who you are?
I'm Lynn Green. I am Dr. Remedi's assistant, and I'm the one that lets you off. So I'm glad you come.
That was kind of hard to hear. Lynn Green is our executive administrative assistant for me and for the governing board in Wickenburg, and here for some logistical support. So again, thank you all so much for attending this afternoon. We certainly wish that we could be in person, but since we can't, we still wanted to provide some information that will be helpful as you learn about our district and support the students that will be coming to Wickenburg High School. The topics that we're going to cover tonight, I'm going to give just a real quick overview of the district. I don't know if anybody is new to service on school boards or in any of our partner districts, but just some real highlights. Then I'm going to turn it over to our Wickenburg High School team. We're going to talk a little bit about general information at the high school, talk about some of the courses that we offer, electives, clubs, and athletics, and then turn it over to Rose as she explains a little bit more about our partnership with WESMEC and what our students have the opportunity to participate in. We have set aside an hour for this presentation. Not sure that it will take the full hour, but if it doesn't, we'll give you a gift of time. But I will be muting those who are talking longer than their allotted time. Not really, but I will pretend for them that I will. But we want to make sure we have a good opportunity for you to hear as much as you can and learn as much as you can. And we will be stopping in between each of these agenda items to ask questions. So feel free to unmute when you have questions. So just a little bit about Wickenburg Unified School District. We've had a vision statement that we've lived by for a very long time. I wish I could take credit for such a wonderful vision for who we are, but we believe that every child has hope, every student is a graduate, and every graduate has a dream. And our mission is to ensure that we put into place programs and procedures and to ensure that this vision is fulfilled. We work with a comprehensive research-based education program, and our desire is to meet the needs of families and the entire Wickenburg community. And the entire Wickenburg community does include all of our wonderful partner districts as you entrust your incoming freshmen to us, and we're very proud to be the recipient of high school students that come to us from your elementary school districts. I see that somebody else has just joined. I don't want to call out, but somebody's on a mobile. But if you've just joined in, if you'd like to unmute and introduce yourself, that'd be great. Somebody's hand.
It's Stephanie again. I had to switch out. So it's just me. Hello
Thank
again.
you, Stephanie. Thank you. That's fine. No worries. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Boy, this technology is a lot of fun for all of us.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Stephanie. Just a reminder, our boundaries are huge. Wickenburg covers over 900 square miles, and that doesn't include the distance that students may travel from our partner districts to attend Wickenburg High School. But in town, we have Hacienda Elementary that is a K through 5. We have Vulture Peak that serves students in 6th through 8th grade. And of course, our high school serves 9th through 12th grade. We are very fortunate to have the benefit of Wickenburg Virtual Academy that serves students in kindergarten through 12th grade. And so that's the town of Wickenburg. But what some people may not know is that we have a school all the way out in the city of Buckeye in Festival Foothills, and that is a K through 8 school. And so we have some challenges with transportation and distance, but we really embrace that community and include them there. Mr. Alexander, who introduced himself as one of our governing board members, is a representative from that area and lives in that growing area in the Festival Foothills area. So fortunate for us, we get to drive through some of your beautiful districts to get over to Festival, and we make a big C around Morristown and Natterburg. But we are quite large geographically, but not huge in the numbers of students. We have a fairly diverse student population. If we take everybody together, we serve students that are about 63.7% white and a large portion, 31% Hispanic, and a very small portion of African American. I think sometimes when you're walking around the town of Wickenburg, you may not notice how diverse our student population is, but we're very proud and excited that we have a lot of different ethnicities represented and cultures represented in our schools. We have high achievement. We're really proud of the achievement. We're looking forward. I wish that our principals are a little bit bummed out about COVID and not getting test results this year because we really anticipated that our students would continue to excel. We participate in Project Momentum, and if you're paying attention to some of the state budget items that are working through legislation and with the governor's budget. It's now called Project Rocket, and we are one of 3 districts participating, which provides additional funds for us to ensure that our teachers have high quality professional development in the areas to serve them in professional learning communities and looking at curriculum instruction and evaluation and how we use student data. So we were excited about our preliminary data before, again, we go 2 years without state data. But we do boast a 78% graduation rate, and we're very proud of that. Always looking to improve upon that, but just slightly higher than the state average. 2 of our schools have, in 2018, did show growth on state assessments. And again, we anticipate that to have been the case. Our data will be analyzed when we get it back from AZ Merit, but it won't be very good comparative data, as you on this call well know. We are very proud to employ 84 certified student teachers. 98% of them are properly certified and endorsed in the areas in which they're teaching. And in a teacher shortage in Arizona, that's something to be touted. As you all know, it's very difficult to find certified teachers, and the resources that we have to support their compensation isn't what it should be, and it's just challenging. We do have a fairly I'm losing my train here. Only 20% of our students are in their 20% of our teachers are in their first 3 years of employment. So we have a fairly mature staff. We have some teachers who've taught for us for over 30 years and been with us for that long. So we have some longevity, which helps us out in making sure that our students are seeing some of the same faces over and over again. Turnover is not as high as it could be. We have 98 district and school support staff, and we have coaches and athletic coaches that do not work for the district full-time, but support our athletic teams. And very proud of the fact that we have 57 substitutes. Not all 57 of them wanted to work this year. Seems to me like that COVID kind of impacted that, but I know that we do share some of our substitutes with some of our neighboring school districts where we have people that will choose to be employed by both of us. So just some general information about us. I think most of you know that we are a 4-day calendar. Our students go to school Monday through Thursday. Our employees, for the most part, work Monday through Thursday. We do have one Friday a month where we do professional development and our staff is in, but our students have a 4-day calendar. I, again, was not here when that was implemented, but it has served quite a few purposes. It's primarily allowed a more balanced work-home life balance, where families have 3 days to spend together. It's increased our opportunities for our teachers who are commuting, not to commute 5 days a week, because we do have some that commute in from the valley. And there's been some minor cost savings, but I think primarily what we wanted to do is make sure that we can attract and retain high quality teachers and continue professional development that supports student success. And although our school days are a little bit longer, it's not significant. So that means our students go to school 151 days. We are very proud of our Web Center for the Performing Arts. So if you've never been there, next year we're going to host this, and we are going to have a spring musical. Everybody say yes. We're going to be back to hosting things, and we'll have a spring music festival, a spring musical that's hosted by the high school and will be presented in the Web Center for the Performing Arts. And I have heard from very reliable sources that the Web Center will be up and running and start having shows again this fall, because they're allowed to open. And as a beautiful facility and a wonderful benefit that our students have access to, and we have a lot going on. And then of course, arts and music programs for our students. And I do see some hands raised, so it is time for questions about that. So Mr. Malio, your hand is up and you are unmuted. Go ahead.
I was under the impression that you were going to be doing a show for us tonight.
Well, if I had a microphone, Jeremy, bring it on over. The good thing about my humor is that only about 50% of the population understands it. And so this is the perfect time to see if anybody gets my jokes, because you can't see if your friends are laughing at me. So anyway, Joe, next time, okay?
All right.
I promise. All right. Do we have any questions, general questions about the district or about who we are or what we do before we dive into specifics about the high school? I don't see any. So we are going to move on, and I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Gorman, and I think it's on. Mark, if I don't click when I should, just give me a cue. I think I know when I'm going to, though.
Okay, great. Well, once again, I'm Mark Orman. I'm principal at Wickenburg High School. This is my second year, so I'm just wrapping up my second year there. And first thing I want to say is, thank you so much for sending your wonderful kids to our school, our district. There are some amazing kids that we have walking the halls and doing some amazing things. So thank you so much for doing what you do to get them ready to come to us. And welcome now to our virtual event this evening, where we'll share a little bit more about our campus. Dr. Bandini earlier mentioned our vision. This is the vision that we have as a district, but we really embrace that district vision as a school as well, because we want our kids to have hope that one day they're going to graduate to live whatever that dream is that they hold and have deep in their heart that they want to do one day. One of the things that I always talk about is, as we're working through, preparing them for whatever life's going to challenge them, bring to them one day, is that we're preparing them for 30. Whatever they want to do when they're 30 years old is what we want to prepare them for today. And sometimes when I say that, it sort of brings knots to my stomach, because we don't know what that's going to necessarily look like 15 years down the road, 10, 12 years down the road. But what we want to do is prepare each and every one of them, all of them, for whatever those challenges are that they will face, and prepare them for whatever that track is they're going to take, whether that be to go into a career when they leave our school, to go to college when they leave our school, to go into the military, whatever that happens to be. We want to make sure that they are prepared for that. And so for us, all means all. Whatever each and every one of them dream of, that's what our task is to prepare them for that. Some of the things that we hold true to and dear to us and to our students is that we really want to develop kids that have high character and are accountable for what they do, that take responsibility. If we're going to create that kid who is successful when they're 30, it comes to not just that math, the language arts, the sciences, and the social studies, those things that they're learning within our school, but also to those soft skills that they learn. And some of those fall right in line with those character traits that I know you guys as as elementaries and middle schools or K-8s really focus on as well. But we want them to have strong character, to be accountable. We want to develop strong relationships so that they have relationships with one another as students, but the staff and our students have positive relationships. When they know that we care, or that we care, then they're going to care themselves. We hold them to high expectations. We want to provide them with a sound academic foundation, and we're going to talk a little bit about that a little bit later. But we want to provide them with the skill set, again, through our academics, that are going to prepare them for whatever that challenge might be. We want to be informative to them and help them to understand what their choices and options are. So when they leave us as seniors, again, they have a real clear idea of what it is that their choices could be, what maybe they need to get to that point in their dream where they're able to actually live that one day. And we want to make sure that we are using data to drive whatever that decision is. Again, it's not assuming what kids want or need, but using what they're telling us that they need, or using the data that comes back to us from our assessments to make sure that we're doing what we have to do to prepare them for that next step. One of the things that we started last year was we took on the challenge of becoming what is called a No Place for Hate school. And No Place for Hate is an Anti-Defamation League initiative that we chose to get on board with last year. And the one thing that I really loved about about No Place for Hate was it wasn't something that we just signed up for. It wasn't something that, as we decided we were going to be a No Place for Hate school, that suddenly it was just bestowed upon us. No Place for Hate was something that we had to earn and had to work on throughout the year. And you have a series of submissions that you do. You have to document the types of activities you do to engage kids, to bring kids together, to minimize or eliminate bullying and increase respect, to break down some of the barriers, maybe the differences that kids have. And so it's not something that just is bestowed upon us, but something that we have to work on. And last year we took that on, and we were designated in 2020 as a No Place for Hate school. But not only that, but we also were the Rookie School of the Year for the state of Arizona. So we were very proud that we were able to not just get involved, but really excel when it came to being involved. And this past year, we took that on once again. So again, even though we were a designated school for 2020, it all started over. We no longer necessarily were a No Place for Hate school, although we talk the talk and we say that we have become one. We still have to earn it again, and we did that this year. Just last week, we learned that once again we were named a designated as a No Place for Hate school, and we haven't heard if there's any awards or anything that come to us from this year, but we have had some accolades come from them, and they were very excited about some of the stuff that we did. So whether we get that or not, the fact that we feel that we were doing the right things to not just align with their mission and their beliefs and their goals, but our own, and to create those students that one day again will go out and hopefully just be better people because of the fact that we have such a focus in this area. And so next year we are going to once again be a participant school and work toward that designation at the end of the 21-22 school year. So we're excited about that part and what we can build upon that we've already established, and excited to get your kids that are going to be joining us next year involved in that. Any questions that you might have for myself on that?
Man, Mark, they're going easy on you.
I guess so.
Okay. Well, then we'll let you keep talking, and we will move on to some of the course offerings that students have access to.
All right. If you want to click that one more time, it looks like it must be, maybe it's got a multiple click to fully activate, but thank you. There it goes. One of the things that we are very proud of as a school, a small school in the state of Arizona, is the opportunities that kids have to engage in a variety of courses. I've worked in some large schools that had 2,500 kids, some that were maybe mid-sized schools that had 12 to 1,500, and then schools that are much like Wickenburg High School, where we've had between 4 and 550. And I've done that as a teacher and as a leader. And the one thing that really resonates with me since coming to Wickenburg High School is the amazing variety of courses that kids can engage in. And a lot of our courses might seem like they're the traditional. When you're looking at what you see here with math as an example, most schools do have an Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2 course. They have calculus and pre-calculus courses or financial maths. And they have the honors courses. But when Clint steps in here in a bit and starts talking about how many different opportunities we have for kids in the elective areas or in the CTE area, and Rose shares some of that too, I think that's where a small school like us really shines, because you don't see that in all of them. So as we kind of flash through, I'm not going to talk about each and every one of our courses, but one thing I do want to point out is what IGSE is. That where it says IGSE Year 1. IGSE stands for the International General Certificate of Secondary Education. And there are courses in math, in ELA, in science, and in social studies that kids can engage in. And essentially, it's an honors sort of track. Kids come in, they may be advanced in math in this particular case, come into us, and we have kids that join us as 8th graders as well as freshmen and join our IGSE Year 1 a math class. And it differs from our others in that in terms of IGSE, we follow a slightly different pathway through the curriculum. So short of getting into all the details with that, as we flip through, you're going to see we have courses that are that have that IGSE terminology next to it. And here, as you're looking at our sciences, you can see where we have IGSE Bio and IGSE Chem. Those are basically honors type courses that are offered in those two areas. One of the things that we're bringing in next year that we've missed for a couple of years is physics, and we're excited to bring that back. We have a teacher who can teach that. We have kids that are now excited about getting on board with it. So I know Clint's been working really hard to get those kids, and obviously our freshmen that are coming from you this year to us won't be there quite yet, but we're hoping to continue to build the numbers and get more and more of those students into these sort of opportunities. I believe the next one is our ELA. And again, much of it looks similar to what you'll see in other high schools there. We do have advanced placement in both 11th and 12th grades, so our AP, English 11 and 12. But you don't always see those courses offered in all small schools. Often it might be a larger school than what you're seeing here, because you have to have numbers often to make these courses go. And so it's not always something that's feasible. And I want to appreciate, just say thank you to our board and to our district administration for continuing to allow us the opportunity to offer these classes, even though they might not have 10, 20 kids in them. We have the opportunity to continue to offer courses that are honors and AP, the IGSE courses that we have to our students. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about as far as courses is social studies. And once again, you're going to see IGSE. IGSE is again our world science, our world history, but then AP is our U.S. history course. And so kids have a lot of opportunity to get college credit through these AP courses that we're offering, but they also have opportunities to get credits in college credits in other ways. And one of them that you might have noticed on the first slide, the math slide, was one that was called AZSOC, college algebra. AZSOC, as you can see here, is the Arizona School Opportunity Collaborative, which started last year, and we got on board with it this year, and we have been piloting it. But the purpose of AZSOC is to provide all students across Arizona with the chance to engage in a variety of curriculum that maybe they couldn't get in a smaller school. So as a large school, you might have a teacher who can teach college algebra, and they have a significant number of kids, and they can do that, whereas we may not have that person who's A, qualified to do that at a smaller district, or B, the number of kids necessary to help that support that class. And AZSOC has stepped in, and they kids take classes synchronously or asynchronously, meaning in person, like what we're doing right now, maybe online, or it could be recorded like what we're doing, and somebody could watch instruction offline down the road. And so they are working through essentially an online type course that is something maybe we could not offer. And so most of our kids this year are taking college algebra that way, and we're finding a tremendous success with that, because we have plugged a teacher that is highly qualified in math into that section, and she's helping them to get through a lot of that curriculum piece. And so we found that actually our success rate is much higher than a lot of schools that we've talked to because of that. But we're excited about that opportunity. And on this next slide, you can see the types of courses that kids can take. And they actually can start all the way back in the middle grades at 7th and 8th, where they could have their English and math and sciences. But it also goes into the high school levels, and most every high school course that you can almost imagine offering is available to them. One of the great things about it is kids that also take the college course, like college algebra or many of the other courses that are tied into colleges or into college credit, is they can leave those courses with 4 credits of college credit through through Grand Canyon University. And it's extremely inexpensive. A student that is free and reduced lunch doesn't get charged for it, first of all. So a significant number of our kids don't have to pay. And those that do pay, for those 4 credits pay around $120 or $130. I don't know the exact figure offhand. So it's, I mean, really, really inexpensive to get 4 college university credits to participate in this. So we're very, very excited about what we're offering kids. And Clint will talk a little bit more about some of the other opportunities that we have. But are there any questions over any of that I've brought up so far as courses?
That was a lot, Mark.
Yes, I'm sorry. Hopefully I didn't run over. You didn't cut me off anyway.
I didn't ring my bell. I didn't stop you. I didn't interrupt you. I do want to note that everyone smiled when you got the acronym for IGSI correct.
I saw that. Clint really smiled.
So we were smiling.
I didn't have to call on a lifeline or anything like that.
Mark has to practice with that one, and usually Clint gives him the count of 3 to get it, and then Clint jumps in and helps him out. But that's okay. The point is that our students have lots of opportunities to get, not only to accelerate, to get college credit, and we take very seriously our commitment to ensuring they get what they want, even in a smaller high school. It's really hard to have enough students, like Mark mentioned, to fill out a class that would match our staffing model. And so we're very happy to see the opportunities that we've had to ensure that kids can do accelerated programs. And then again, too, that we can offer some remediation and some help for students who may not be ready for college algebra. So all means all at Wickenburg High School, right?
It does.
Any questions? Now, I told my team they were not going to be talking heads on this. I told them they had to pause and take a breath and let people ask questions. So can't believe there's no questions, but it is the end of the day in May, and you have not been promised any meal or any entertainment. So let's just get moving on. So should have sent you all a Grubhub certificate or something. Does Grubhub deliver in Aguila? No. They don't in Wickenburg either, I don't think so. Okay, so Clint is going to talk about electives and clubs.
Okay, thank you. And again, my name is Clint Bushbaum, assistant principal. And for those that came out a little bit late, I apologize for losing my voice, but it's kind of getting lower and I sound a little bit tougher. So that's, kind of fun, I guess. One of the things that we are really proud of at Wickenburg High School are the different options that we have for our students. We have a little something for everybody. And a lot of that goes into our electives that go alongside our core classes. And here's a list of the electives that we offer. And this list is always growing. And Rose is going to talk a little more about our CTE courses, but we've just added some new classes this year, and we're going to build on those this next year, including our sports medicine. Now we have a sports medicine 1 and a sports medicine 2. We've also added stage production for the first year this year, and that's for our students that build our sets for our theater classes. And that class started with about 3 kids and is now built to 30 in 1 year. So we're very proud of that. We've got an award-winning culinary program for our pro foods and our culinary, where kids are learning how to safely create different kind of menu options, serve food, get their food handler's license, and that's got a great turnout. We have Film 1, Film 2. We have a business management course for 1, 2, and 3 with the internship that goes along with that. We have Spanish 1, 2, and 3, and this year we've added back Heritage Spanish. Those are for our Spanish speakers that are very excellent at speaking and listening, but need a little more help on the written part. So it's a little bit designed for a certain demographic, and that's great for those students. We're one of the few high schools that have a full construction program. We have both construction 1 and 2, along with engineering 1 and 2. We have PE classes in traditional PE setting, and we also have weight training for those that want to go that route. We've got a lot of different options for those that are more musically inclined: band and percussion, beginning band. We have our choral, we have piano, we have 3 levels of studio art, stage production, like as I mentioned. We also have yearbook and student government to go along with our sports medicine class. We can go ahead and do one more. And then along with our classes, we also have a great group of clubs that we have. And this group is also always changing because as students have different interests, they can create new clubs. Obviously, what's cool to us is not cool to them, and what's cool to them right now won't be cool to them in 2 years. So we have students that are always bringing different ideas for different clubs they want to create and getting sponsors. We have our student council, obviously. We have National Honor Society, our Pride Club, our Recycling Club that's starting to grow and grow. Animal awareness, we have art, we have FBLA, we have our drama club, and that goes along with our stage production as they continue to build that program. We have a lot of students that are taking a great interest in the theater, and some want to be on stage and some want to create the stage. So we have a little bit for all those students as well. We have SAD. We have our band, obviously, with our choir. And obviously we have multiple classes, so there's some students are more into the piano and not the band. There's some students who want to play guitar, and that's what they do at the club. So there's a lot of students that are going in and out of that music room throughout the course of the school day and then afterwards as well. We have our Unashamed Club, our FCC LA Culinary Club, and that's with our chef. So we'll have students afterwards making different kinds of meals and doing those things. We have rodeo with Mr. Johnson. He's our rodeo professional, so he can talk more about that when it's his turn. And then we have our rifle team. I believe we're the only rifle team in the state. Is that correct? And we have
it's the country. I think we're the only one in the country, to be honest.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
In the world country.
And the permissions for high school students to have a rifle team are great, and they compete along with adults in the junior competition. So they are a point of pride here and very highly ranked. So
it's very important for us when your students come and become our students. We want to get them involved in as many things as we can. Okay, it's going to expose them to different friends, and they start to kind of really assimilate and become part of the regular family. It's, we want our students to be athletes, yes, musicians, of course, join different clubs. We're always trying to encourage them to be active, and it's just going to open up more doors for them as they kind of navigate their way in high school and find out what their passions are and what they really enjoy. And that's what sets us apart for a school our size to have the options that we have. I've never seen that. So it's really great for our students, and they're doing a great job. We have some great staff that are continuing to try to grow our programs and our clubs. And so we feel confident that your kids coming to us are going to have a ton of great options they're going to really enjoy with their high school experience.
questions are raised, our hands are raised again. I might jump in here with a comment. I didn't introduce myself by saying that this is my first year in Wickenburg, and I've worked in other places and with a lot of school districts in some different areas and different schools. And I'm always impressed when I go to the high school. It makes me so happy. It's a very safe, orderly place. We didn't talk about that. You know, we talked about no place for hate, but our kids are so well behaved. And I kind of teased some of the people who've never worked anywhere else. And I know if you've never been at another high school, and Wickenburg is the only high school you've been, you kind of start questioning, because kids are kids, but overall it's a very safe, orderly environment. We have great kids that are involved and remember people's names, and they just are, they're wonderful. Does anybody have any questions about our clubs, activities, electives, or questions that some of the parents in your school district may have? Okay. Good. We might be able to under promise and over deliver on the amount of time that we have here. So next is athletics with Mr. Johnson. Matt, you ready?
I am, yes. Again, welcome. My name is Matt Johnson. I'm the athletic director at Wickenburg High School. So Wickenburg has for a while and will continue to field 14 different programs for athletics. And they're very well balanced, girls and boys. We make sure that we keep everything, like I said, balanced, so that the girls and the boys have the same opportunities or equal opportunities. on my slide is basically just a list of the coaches. It's called our coaches contact list. But if you look to the far left, these are the sports that we offer. In the fall, it's cross country, football, spirit line or cheer, swim, and volleyball. In the winter, we have both basketballs, both soccers, and then wrestling. And then we just wrapped up our baseball and softball season, along with golf and track. We've been pretty successful this year. Our football team has went to the quarterfinals in kind of that smushed up COVID season. It got really shortened, but we were exceptional, and we got to the quarterfinals. And so our girls basketball team in the winter also made the playoffs and went up to Page and played. And then this spring, our softball team, which is young, but we were co-region champs this year. And so they did exceptionally well. Led by a couple older girls and a lot of younger kids that have come from kind of around the feeder schools. We have one golfer that's going to state next week, and she's ranked in the top 10. And then we've had our track team. We kind of got it whittled down. We have state in a couple weeks, and we have one triple jump girl that's ranked very high in the triple jump. So we're experiencing a lot of successes here at Wickenburg High School, and we're only looking to get better. So we also we keep a fair amount of coaches teachers as coaches, and it does a couple things for us. Is when you have a teacher that's a coach, it keeps kids hooked, because as they're walking by, they're talking to coaches about athletics and their teams and their dynamics. But it also has another person that's very invested in their behavioral and academic successes. And so it keeps them accountable in the hallways, in the classrooms, and on the fields. And so we just got a lot of really good things going on here as far as athletics. There's a couple slides I threw in, and these are your students who have become our student athletes. If you look at the 4 football players, Bryson Alder on the right was a Morristown kid. He was Morristown for a little while, and then he went to Vulture Peak. He was an outstanding athlete for us. He's a senior. He's just accepted a rodeo scholarship in Clarendon, Texas, and so he'll be going down there soon. Clay Watson is a Natterburg kid that come to us and has had a lot of success. Cade Roberts was kind of one of our own, and then Jed Aldrichson was a Morristown kid as well. Exceptional athlete, academic, and a rodeo kid. And also 3 of those kids, the 3 kids on the left, are also WVA kids. They went through our virtual academy and have a lot of success. The basketball picture, the girl holding the ball is Mercy Aldrichson, also a Morristown athlete that has come to us. And I don't know if you can see, there's a little head with a little blonde girl back there. That's Shayna Wimberly, and she's also a Morristown athlete. So I have a couple more slides I'll just talk through real quick. So the basketball player is his name is David Cardenas, and he shattered the 3-point record, the record for most 3-pointers made this season at Wickenburg this year. He's just signed on to play at Arizona Christian University. Great athlete, but even more than that, he's just one heck of a great kid. And then little number 5 over there, she is Kayla Hernandez, and she's a 2-sport athlete for us. She's a sophomore, comes from Aguila. And I got one more. So I don't know if anybody's on here from Festival except Mr. Alexander, but the golfer is Emma Kisseberth, and she was a Festival Foothills student council president, and just a great kid from that school. And then if you look, there's what a great picture of our soccer team. The coach sent this to me, and the sun kind of was setting behind him and casting these great shadows. And I blew this picture up and hung it outside my office. But there's a good variety. Adriana Avila is right there, number 26 in the front. Outstanding athlete for us from Aguila. Carrie Lou Hernandez just down to the right, another Aguila kid. And then there's a couple more at the back that are freshmen that come from Aguila. It's hard to see them, though. But when your kids come to us, whether it's 18 clubs or 14 sports, we work them in, we get them going, we get them active, we get them involved. And better than that, we get them to find their people. And that's one of the things when they come here, you know, they have to find their people, and when they can do that, they're a lot more successful. And so that's all I got for athletics. Like I said, your kids are doing great things here, and we love having them, and we can't get them fast enough. So keep sending them over.
And I'm just going to say that's not all that Mr. Johnson has about athletics, but I would have to use my hook to push him offline. So, but anyway, do want to pause for some questions or some more congratulations to our student athletes. They're just amazing what happens here in this little town. And Parker's our rivals. So you didn't even mention that there's a rivalry between Parker and Wickenburg, Mr. Johnson.
I thought that was just understood. I thought everybody knew that.
I have to tell you all, I had a heart attack when I first walked into Wickenburg High School and saw the axe that is there. And because I haven't been in a small school for a long time, and you know, of course, the administrator in me comes out, and I'm going, wait a minute, and then I hear the story, and I'm like, okay, it's firmly attached. It's a rivalry thing, and the axe has to go back and forth. So I guess just for football, though, right, Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, just for football. The rivalry is bigger in football than it is in anything else. But it was funny. I sent an email out to my coaches. We had to nominate another school for sportsmanship award for this year. It couldn't be us. We had to nominate someone else. And half the coaches came back and said that they wanted to nominate Parker. And it kind of blew my mind. I said, you realize the bad blood we have with Parker? And they said, you know, we want to give it to Parker because they've been great sports this year. And that's a testament to my coaches. You know, they're not holding on to these grudges, rivalries, bad blood. You know, when somebody's a good sport, we can say they're a good sport, even if it's our rival. So I got a great group of coaches, man. I wouldn't trade them for nothing. So.
And rival doesn't mean enemy.
No.
Right? No questions about athletics. We're good. I'm again happy that our kids are all finding a place to belong. All right, Rose, our last topic is for you, and we do have plenty of time to talk. You have 10 whole minutes to talk about WESMEC and what that is. And I'm not sure that everybody on this call knows what that is, but maybe so. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, I wanted to first say Wickenburg High School has 7 career tech ed programs on campus, and those were already highlighted by Clint very well. So those are what we have on campus, but then we also encourage our students to sign up and apply for a WESMEC program, because as a sophomore they can apply, or even a junior if it's only a 1-year program. But these programs end up helping our students to graduate not only with their high school diploma, but they end up with an industry certification, sometimes several, in an area where they can graduate and either get a job right away in the field that they've been training in, or continue to build on those skills and attend college or university. Our students have really done a good job with these, and the Northwest campus is the one that most of our students attend. WESMEC actually has several campuses, but the one that's Northwest, that is actually just a little bit south of Bell Road on Grand Avenue. You've probably driven by it, but that one, these are the programs that are offered at the Northwest facility. And I will say, in the 9-10 years that I've been the liaison between WESMEC and Wickenburg High School, we have had students complete programs in all of the areas listed here on this slide, except the power sports technician, because it's a brand new program. And part of the advantage of a district being a member of WESMEC is that they are a career technical district that can afford then to buy such specialized equipment. So if you walk in, and we've had students do dental assisting, and they have the dental chair and all the equipment. Same thing, IT security. It is an amazing room of computer equipment. It's not just computers, it's this whole huge room. If you haven't ever taken a tour of a WUSMEC program, go down sometime to this facility there, the Northwest campus in Surprise, because you will be amazed. And for just a nominal cost that it would charge them as an adult, our students can take a 1 or 2 year program. Most of them are 2 years. There is a sacrifice involved in the fact that these students are so dedicated and they drive down every day to WUSMEC to attend. But they can take these programs, graduate with these certifications, and like I said, it is absolutely amazing. So these are the Northwest ones. And then, yes, Central Campus is another one. It's about Glendale Avenue and a little bit west of the 101 freeway. It takes about an hour to get there. The Northwest Campus is about 45 minutes for our students from Wickenburg. If they live closer, obviously that might be different. But we've had students from Wickenburg High School that have finished the aviation program, several of them. One I know got a job at Sky Harbor. We've had, I remember a Congress student, Michael Wood, he finished coding. He loved it. Again, it's a sacrifice. Driving every day down, he did so well. And it was just fun to see him take hold of it and decide, oh, I'm helping the swimming pool now here in Wickenburg write a program. Anyway, these kids learn such real life skills and graduate with the certifications. Northeast Campus, believe it or not, is Deer Valley and about I-17. And we've had students drive there too, especially for the medium heavy diesel technology. Several students, some from the Natterburg, Morristown areas, one last year from Congress area anyway, graduated from that area, and they've applied and got jobs then in the industry. So all of these programs, like I said, pretty much our students have applied and attended and done well and graduated then with these certifications besides their diploma. So it is a very wonderful opportunity for some of the students that really want to take part in that. So if you want to guide any of the parents, students to look at it, the WUSMEC, and I just have a little slide there to show you, but you can just Google WUSMEC and it'll come up and you can look and see what the certifications that they earn. They many times can pay and get college credits too from WUSMEC, and encourage parents, students to go down and tour the facilities. It really is amazing, the equipment and the opportunities for our students. So I highlighted that pretty quick, but if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I always just like to remind citizens of the state of Arizona that we're one of the few states, well, not a few, there's several, but we have these WUSMEC and others that serve students in career and readiness, but also serves college readiness. And it is actually a tax base. You actually pay about a nickel of your taxes go to WUSMEC, but that goes a long ways in preparing our people for the world of work. So, Randy, I see your hand raised.
Yes, what I'd like to add, Rose did not cover the West Campus that is out in Buckeye, the WUSMEC, that is out by the Palo Verde Training Center. And I know a lot of those, as a retiree from Palo Verde, that was one of the campuses that prepares a lot of those students that would like to get into their nuclear industry, not only just nuclear, but instrument and control technology, electrical, mechanical, and another array of classes that they could take out there. And the leadership out at Palo Verde was just so pleased to be able to take on these kids into their programs out there at Palo Verde.
I totally agree. And I'm not sure where that slide was because somehow that's okay. I didn't see it. But the thing is, I did want to actually emphasize, Randy, that we've had several students do the energy program there. And I have encouraged students many times because Palo Verde, APS, they are just waiting in the wings, practically ready to swoop them up and hire them. They said that they actually have, a retiring employee thing where they need desperately more workers. And so those students have quickly found jobs. We do actually have a number of kids who have done programs there, not just the energy one, but that sciences, IT security. So yes, you're right. That campus is great. And it's just it's I-17 and 303 about. It's the kids actually, we have one right now driving their hairstyling. She was determined to get in, so she took that spot. So yes, thank you for pointing that out.
Any questions from anybody else on the call about WestMec? If you're not familiar with that, it is a great benefit for our kids. All right. Well, right on time, maybe 4 minutes early. We are finished up with this. I thank you all so much for your attendance. It's so good to see some faces, even if it's caricatures or photos shopped into your Zoom meeting thing, but we are happy to be here. We look forward to welcoming students from our partner districts in the fall, and just know and trust us that we will take good care of them and make sure that they are successful and that they are part of our vision, our mission, and our purpose, and we will treat them as our own because they will be our own. And we look forward to doing this in person next year. Everybody, fingers crossed that we are in person next year. So with that, I will thank everyone for attending, and you all have a wonderful evening and a wonderful rest of May. Thank you.